My name is Vek Sharu Osanet. I have served on 11 different ships in my long career. I have talked with pirates. I have calmed down angry captains. I have solved arguments between people who did not even speak the same language. I thought I understood every kind of danger a person could warn you about. Then I met humans, and I learned that the most dangerous warning in the galaxy is 4 small words, said very quietly, "I'm actually getting annoyed." Let me explain how I learned this. My people, the Osanet, work as translators and helpers between different groups in space. A few cycles ago, my superiors sent me to join a human ship. It was part of a program to see if humans and other species could work well together. My job was simple. I would translate. I would help solve small problems before they became big problems. I would make sure everyone stayed calm and happy. I expected humans to be nervous. They are a young species. They only reached space a short time ago, compared to the rest of us. I thought they would be excited, maybe a little unsure of themselves, easy to guide. I was wrong. Humans are some of the calmest people I have ever met. They almost never raise their voices. They rarely show anger on their faces. This made me feel safe at first. I thought, these are easy people to work with. But I did not understand the warning signs yet. I did not know that humans do not show anger the way most other species do. They do not shout before they act. Instead, they say something very small and very quiet, and then they simply solve the problem themselves, in whatever way is needed. The first time I heard the words, we were 3 days into a cargo trip. Our ship's power system broke down. The safety computer locked the engine room doors because it decided the area was too dangerous to enter. This was meant to protect us. Instead, it trapped us with a problem we could not fix. A crew member named Danielle Osei began working on the problem calmly. She hummed a little song while she worked. She tried one way to open the system, then another. I watched her and thought, she is very patient. This is a good quality. Then something went wrong. A safety office, far away on a different ship, sent a signal that locked the system again, just to be careful. This meant Danielle's hard work was undone in one moment, for no good reason. She stopped humming. "I'm actually getting annoyed," she said. Her voice was soft. It did not sound angry at all. I did not think much of it. I wrote nothing down. I did not understand yet that this sentence meant something important. 6 minutes later, she had found a new way around the problem. She fixed the power system herself, carefully and cleverly, using tools in a way I had never seen before. It worked. We were safe. Later, I heard that the safety office lost the ability to lock ship systems from far away, because so many people complained about what had almost happened. I did not think about this too much at the time. I simply thought, humans are good at fixing things when they are patient. I did not understand what I had actually seen. The second time I heard the words, we had visitors. Some officials came aboard our ship to check our paperwork. They said our documents were filed a few minutes too late, and because of this, they said we could not keep something we had found and fixed up during a long trip. This was something the crew had worked very hard for. The officials were not kind about it. They spoke to Danielle as if she was not very smart. I noticed she became very quiet and very still. I had learned, by now, to notice this. "I'm actually getting annoyed," she said again. This time, I paid close attention. She did not argue loudly. She did not raise her voice at all. Instead, she asked a simple question about how the paperwork system worked. Then she explained, calmly and clearly, that the system itself had a small delay built into it, and that if you looked at the numbers carefully, the paperwork was actually filed early, not late. She had known this the whole time. She had simply been waiting to see if the officials would be fair with her first. They had not been fair, so she showed them, clearly and politely, that they were wrong. The officials left quickly after that. Their own paperwork was reviewed by their bosses soon after, because of what had happened. I heard later that one of them was quite upset about it, and rightly so, since he had been very rude for no good reason. I began to understand something important. The words were not a threat. They were a kind of gift. They were the last warm and friendly thing Danielle said before she stopped waiting patiently and started fixing the problem herself, in whatever way worked best. After this, I began writing notes. I wanted to understand this pattern. I spoke with other crew members. I asked them questions carefully, the way a good translator should. I learned that many humans use this same phrase, or ones very like it. Our ship's doctor once said something similar to a hospital worker who was making things difficult over some paperwork about medicine for a patient who needed it. The doctor's voice stayed calm and friendly the entire time. Within a short while, the medicine arrived, and a note was sent up to someone in charge about how things had been handled poorly. Even our captain, a very gentle person named Reyes, who had never once spoken sharply to me in all our time together, used the words once. Another ship's crew tried to take something that belonged to us, using threats to try to scare us into giving it up. "I'm actually getting annoyed," Reyes said, over the radio, sounding as calm as ever. The other captain laughed. He did not know what those words meant. He had not read my notes. Not long after, that captain's ship had a very difficult time continuing on its way, and our crew ended up helping his own crew sort out several problems they clearly had, in a firm but fair manner. Nobody was hurt. But that captain learned, the hard way, that he should have listened more carefully. I finally asked Danielle about this directly. I asked her, "Why say the words at all, if you have already decided what you will do next?" She thought about this for a while before answering. I liked that about her. She never gave quick answers to real questions. "Because most of the time," she said, saying it fixes the problem before I even have to do anything else. People usually don't realize they have made someone unhappy. Telling them gives them a chance to notice and to change what they are doing. That is the kind thing to do. What happens if they do not listen? Well, that is simply what happens next. I found this very interesting. In my own culture, warnings are often loud and clear, with many words and much explanation. Humans, it seemed, preferred to give one small, quiet chance, and then act. I began to share what I had learned with other translators like myself, working on other ships. I made a simple guide, explaining the pattern I had noticed. Many translators found it useful. Some even started calling it the Osei warning, after Danielle, though she found this a little bit funny and a little bit embarrassing when she heard about it. The lesson, I explained in my guide, is not that humans become dangerous when they are upset. Every kind of person can act firmly when they are upset enough. That is not surprising to anyone who has traveled among the stars for a while. The real lesson is different. It is that humans decide how a problem will be solved long before they show any outside sign of being upset. By the time they say those 4 quiet words, they have already thought everything through in their own mind. The warning is not the beginning of their anger. It is the end of their patience, and the very last polite thing they offer you before they move on to solving the problem in whatever way makes the most sense to them. This is why the warning is so important to understand. If you hear it and do nothing, you have not been given a second warning. You have simply used up the only one you were going to get. I want to be clear about something. I do not think humans are frightening people to be around. In fact, I have grown to like Danielle very much. She taught me a card game from her home country, and she once cried during a film about a small dog, which I found very touching, since I did not know humans could feel so much for a small furry creature that could not even speak. What I fear, if fear is the right word, is only that one quiet sentence, said in that one specific calm voice. Because by the time I hear it, I already know that the outcome has already been decided somewhere inside that person's mind, and I am only now finding out about it. So here is what I tell every new translator I train, and what I would tell you too, if you ever find yourself working alongside humans for the first time. Watch closely, listen closely, and if a human ever tells you, gently, almost as if they are sorry to have to say it, that they are actually getting annoyed, do not wait to see what happens next. Fix the problem immediately. Treat those words as if your whole mission depends on them, because it very well might. They have already made their decision. They are only being kind enough to tell you first, in case you would like to save everyone some trouble by fixing things yourself. That is the last lesson I will share today. I hope it helps you, wherever your travels take you, and whoever you happen to be working with when you get there. End of my notes, filed for anyone who might need them, and read carefully by anyone who plans to work with humans in the future.